So the topic for today, we're going to talk about the kids are out of the house. Now what? So, for some, your kids are just leaving home. For some, your kids have been left home already, and you've been deciding, what am I going to do? I don't have to do what you would consider parenting skills anymore. So now what? Well, it's a topic that's, I don't want to say touchy-feely, but for some people, it was a joy to have that last kid or that kid out of the house. But for me, I never wanted my kids to leave home, at least until I knew or I could see that they was truly ready to go and live life on their own. And some people may be saying, are you crazy? When they get 18, they getting out of my house. Well, that just wasn't me. And it wasn't the fact that I didn't think that they can do it. I believe I raised some really good kids. And it wasn't about whether they can really, really do it. It was about, was they ready to do it? Because even for me, being a parent from 17, it in our mind, when we're the age, we think we can do anything. We think we're ready. We think we're grown. And then life hit us. And I never wanted my kids to have to go through a struggle of trying to live in a world that would chew them up and spit them out. And some of you guys can relate to what I'm saying. Some of you guys still probably saying, when they get 18, they're getting out of my house. When they graduate high school, they're grown. Well, not really. Some kids are not mentally ready to handle the world. I don't think, in so many ways, I was probably ready to weather that storm myself. But, of course, me being like most probably teenagers at that time, we was just ready to say we was grown. And it wasn't that I didn't have a loving family. It was just something, I guess, in us, probably with every child, even now, that in so many ways, we kind of want to do our own thing. And that's one way that we thought about life, but we never thought about, and that's where the maturity part come in at. We never thought about the whole setup that it was going to take for us to live life. Yes, I had a baby, but mentally, I could say I probably still wasn't grown. It's a lot of things that I wish I slowed down on. You can't take it back, What's done is done. But you have to move on with life, and you have to just try to do better. And now my kids are out of the house, and it wasn't one of them get out kind of situations. It wasn't one of them, oh, I got to run away from this lady. I hope it wasn't. But a lot of people probably would call it sheltering your kids. And looking at what we're dealing with today, it's a good thing to shelter your kids, because it's a lot out here that I think most adults are not ready for. So now that your kids are out of the house, what are you going to do? What are some things that you thought about? What are some things that told you they would be fine? It's okay to let them out. It may be a weird discussion, weird topic, and I hope I'm saying it where everyone understands what I'm trying to get at. I'm not perfect at these videos, okay, guys? But I just felt the need that as adults, we talk about so much that we do not talk about what we're going to do for those of us that's parents, or those of us that has raised kids for majority of their lives or their whole lives, or most of our adulthood, or not necessarily adulthood, teenage life or young life. So now what are you going to do? What are your plans at this stage in your life? Have you thought about it? Have you already started doing it? Yeah. Leave me some comments about your steps that you're doing now as an empty nester. How you say it? Can't say an old mom. Well, I don't want to say old mom. That may not sound right. But anyway, I'm probably going to edit this out. So, Donna, make sure you review this. So, yeah, so let's jump back into this. I will give you an example. So, for me, now that my kids are out of the house, some things that I had started doing, and it's things that I've always wanted to do that I just hadn't done it because my kids came first. As far as me raising them before I had any too much extra fun, I would say that. I have gotten back into doing simple stuff like crocheting. And before anyone said, crocheting is just not for people that's old. It's actually relaxing. It's actually, something to help you think. While you're doing that, you could be thinking about other stuff. Kind of just, I call it, you could lose yourself doing it because you're so concentrated on getting it finished. I read more because I have time to read more. I don't have to stop and change a diaper. I don't have to stop and make dinner every 5 minutes. So that's something that I picked up even more now that I'm much older. I also like gardening. And again, for those that haven't stopped by my gardening channel, it's DonnaLLady's Gardening Projects and More. That's something that I was able to start doing, not just because I'm an empty nester, but that was a whole health journey for me. And that strikes up a new thing, my health journey. We as parents, we forget about us. So for me, it was about, okay, now I can do some things for me. What are some things that I need to do for me that I wasn't able to focus on because I was raising kids? So one of the things was I can eat more healthier. I can eat more of the things that I like to eat. So gardening came into place. And again, it's something that I really like it. And I'm glad I started it when I did, because everything else, in 2020 started off kind of ugly with things that's going on bad. But just really being able to kind of kick back when I want to. I don't have to do extra if I don't want to. I'm still married, so I still have those responsibilities as a wife. And I do still work. Hopefully that'll come to a point where I don't have to go out there and work as hard. I love what I do. And guess what? I still work with kids. I remember my daughter saying to me, I think she was already in college. I want to say, she said, "Mama, you got empty nest syndrome." I'm like, girl, please. No, I don't. Trust me. I can do without some kids. And although that is true, I do love being a help to kids. I have grandbabies. I didn't say a babysitter. I said a help to kids. So I love spending time with my grandbabies. I don't get them every weekend and, just constantly, because I'm a true believer that the parents need to raise their kids. My mom made sure that that's something I did. And just the time that, just the mom I had was like, you made them, you raise them. And I appreciate that because it made me the mom I am today. Did she watch them? She watched them from time to time. But she made it clear, pretty much do not be an absent parent. Do not be one of those parents that's so focused on them as if, oh, I had kids, but I still want to party, so I'm not ready to be a mom yet, kind of thing. So, when I wanted to do some things when I was in my early 20s, I did have a designated babysitter that I would pay to do that. I was working at that time. I've been working since I was, 16 years old. So I was very responsible, I would say, from the beginning. Life things did happen, things I wasn't ready for, that I had to face. A lot of trials and triumphs, I had to go through. And again, it just goes back to, yes, I'm an empty nester. Do I miss my kids? Yes. Do I wish my kids were still at home? To some degree, I do. I have liked the fact that I don't have kids at home, but I will want that big house where each kid can have their own wing, but we're still under the same roof. They still have to work or go to school, college, but I just like the presence of my family. I always wanted to have that family setting where the kids was always near or always close. Not to run their life. They can live their own life. But just the fact that I just love being around my kids. I didn't have a lot of issues with my kids at all. I mean, did they get in trouble? Yes. Just regular kid stuff at home, not out in the community or at school. But it was the normal sister-brother thing. They have had to have discipline, just not following certain rules, but it didn't take, a lot of that kind of discipline to get them to follow the rules. So, and I appreciate that. I hope and want to say that I did something right. Now they're grown, they're living their own lives. I try my best not to interfere because they have to make their own choices. It gets to a point that once you leave from under that roof and you're on your own, as far as you living on your own, you kind of get used to your own rules. You kind of have to give them that space to make certain mistakes. Am I a phone call away if they need to talk to me or ask me for advice? Yes. Will I go and interfere with their life? No. I would never turn my back on them if they need help. If I can help them, I will. If I can't, then they have to figure it out. They still have to figure it out. And I come second as far as helping them. But what do you do when your kids are finally out of the house? At what age did your children leave home? If you're now an empty nester. If you're not an empty nester, what have you thought about would be a perfect age for your kids to get out of your house? Or what have y'all discussed as a family? So pretty much I'm going to leave that topic like that. Just leave some feedback. Tell me what you think. Tell me your plan of action when it's time for your kids to leave out of the house, or tell me the action that you have taken after your kids left out the house. And also, again, what are you doing now that you're an empty nester? So I hope you enjoyed this topic. I wanted to start off light, and I really, really hope that this channel can be more of us just talking about daily life events. So again, I hope you enjoy the channel. If you did like this topic of the day, please leave a comment. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not already subscribed yet. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can always know when Chit Chat with Love Lady is loading up a new topic. Have a great day, guys.